What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ Prospect Profiles. And keeping with Golden Gopher Monday, today we're going to do a prospect profile on Florida Panthers prospect and current Gopher right winger Kyle Rao, a smallish forward and native of Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Last year was the Minnesota Mr. Hockey out there and had scored the triple OT winner for Eden Prairie in the longest state championship game in Minnesota high school hockey history, which goes back as long as any states in the Union. Played a little bit of the Sioux Falls Stampede at the end of the year and got selected in the third round by the Florida Panthers. And, another guy, Dale Talent stockpiled picks and took another guy, kind of like Rocco Grimaldi. We took him the second round last year. Another guy that's small in stature but rich in offensive creativity and capabilities. He's really got great upside, and I think he's going to be, keeping with the Florida theme. Marty San Luis across the state has had unparalleled success in the NHL. A smallish forward with offensive creativity and a flash and dash guy. I think Talent's trying to get his own Mighty San Luis for the Miami market, show the people in Eastern Florida that these smallish forwards, you don't count them out. Small NCAA forwards that can score at all levels. They're worth taking a look at, giving them a shot. And he's playing very well in Minnesota. They're having a pretty good year out there. The Gophers, he's got 34 points in 34 games. He's third in the team in scoring, behind fellow Florida prospect Nick Bjugstad and winger Eric Hula from Pori, Finland. It's weird having a Finn out there. Usually, so many guys from the western part of the United States, and that's it. But hockey's really a global game. Like I said, small in stature, but you make up for that in offensive capabilities. I can't discount, and he's gritty too. He's got 27 penalty minutes in 33 games. So, as my father would say, he's not taking no shit. Played for the U.S. at WJC, had a pretty good tournament. The U.S. was disappointing. It disappointed me. They're finished, but he was a bright spot. Wasn't really a lot to make the team, but worked hard and made his way on. I'm very impressed by what I've seen of him. The little bit I've seen with the World Juniors and with the Gophers. When I was home watching the college hockey networks. It's flash and dash, offensive creativity. Last year in Minnesota high school, what were his numbers? 41 goals and 41 assists in 31 games. So, Jesus, you can't discount that. That's and he's, like I said, he's gritty. He can, stick handle and tight corners and be a real capable playmaker and from all over the ice. He sets up teammates as well as he scores, and he's got a good shot. And, he's speed to kill. Like I said, it's almost like watching Marty San Luis out there. And as someone that's watched a lot of Lightning games the last few years, you're really rewarded every time you see him touch the puck because something great could happen. Whether he takes it to the net and scores a beauty, or sets up Stammer in the high slot, or dishes it over to Vinny, whatever he does, the creativity's there. And I think Ra's going to be a big part of that. Florida's stockpiled tremendously skilled young forwards. Bugstad, Huberdeau, Quentin Howden. They got some good young defensemen with Eric Gudbranson and Dmitry Kulikov. They've got some real skilled guys there, and I'm really curious to see. They're going to have a winner in South Beach in due time. The fans in Florida and Fort Lauderdale. I say Florida, I mean that market, the Fort Lauderdale market, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. Haven't been treated to a winner in a lot of time, and I think what Talent's doing is bringing all these high draft picks, bringing guys that can score, guys that can grind, and guys that ultimately want to play. And bringing in Rao and fellow diminutive sniper from the WCHA, Rocco Grimaldi in the second round. They've established themselves as one of the deepest farm systems in hockey. They really, really are, and I'm very curious to see what they do long term. These guys are going to grow together, form a core nucleus, and ultimately put the Panthers back on the map for the first time, even going back before Pavel Bure, which was one of the greatest eras in Panther history or hockey history. Bure taking his talents to South Beach, but when they went to the finals that year with Jovanovski, Van Beesbrook, Tommy Fitzgerald, Massol native, it's what it's all about, and I really think he's going to be a big part of that going forward. I think fans in the Fort Lauderdale area and Miami are going to have a real treat with this kid, and Gophers fans have a treat with him. His brother is up in Minnesota. It's funny, a little statistic. Minnesota's won like 3 games since December or January, and those are his only 3 road games, and I think those are the Wild's his only 3 career road games. It's a pretty interesting statistic. His brother played at Denver, and Chad Rao. It's a pretty big hockey family. That's it for this episode of the Power Play with CJ on Panthers prospect Kyle Rao. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the season. Later, guys.